doesn't exist. We're the closest of nations, and we had very good discussions today, but we didn't discuss Canada.
Thank you. Please. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes. Thank you.
Being interrupted mid-sentence can feel frustrating, but for Keir Starmer, it was much worse. When asked about Trump's tariffs on Canada, he barely had a chance to respond before Trump quickly moved the conversation along. The moment was striking. Trump didn't let Starmer finish, leaving him looking weak and out of control. It wasn't just an interview, it was a public power play. Trump made sure everyone saw who was truly in charge. Dahmer was left struggling for his words, a reminder that in this relationship, Trump sets the rules and calls the shots.
Did our Prime Minister persuade you not to put tariffs on the UK?
He tried. He was working hard, I'll tell you that. He earned whatever the hell they pay him over there. I think there's a very good chance that in the case of these two great friendly countries, I think we could very well end up with a real trade deal.
Donald Trump's announcement of a 25% tariff on car imports from the UK, starting on April 3, sent shockwaves through British businesses. This tariff hits iconic British car manufacturers like Jaguar, Land Rover, Mini, and Rolls-Royce, which rely heavily on exporting vehicles to the United States. For these companies, the new tariff means higher costs, potentially leading to increased prices for American consumers, reduced demand, and worst of all, job losses in the UK.
Prime Minister Starmer, you've been terrific in our discussions. You're a very tough negotiator, however. I'm not sure I like that, but that's okay. Very, very special person.
Trump's tariff aims to cut the U.S. trade deficit, targeting industries like automotive manufacturing to boost American-made products. While it seems logical, this risks damaging key trade relationships and disrupting global supply chains. What's even more striking is Keir Starmer's failed narrative of a strong UK-US alliance. Despite claims of a tight bond, this tariff proves national interest trump political ties. Starmer's failure to stop or soften the blow highlights his lack of real influence and exposes weakness in his diplomatic efforts.
And this is with Queen Elizabeth. Right here, who was fantastic, by the way. These images, I mean, who has images like this? And these were relationships, too. Look, here's now the king. Here's Charles with the guard. And this is the Queen, Queen Elizabeth. It's a piece of history at the highest level. Look, it's Charles. So beautiful. And they'll see the most beautiful places in the world. There are no places like this. And hopefully he's going to be well, because he's a really good person. Camilla is fantastic. You get to know him so well. This is your favorite president with the Queen. She was unbelievable. She was great. We had a very good relationship, really good.
Keir Starmer's meeting with Donald Trump was supposed to be a chance to strengthen the special relationship between the UK and the US. Before the meeting, Starmer emphasized how crucial the bond was, claiming it would be key to navigating global challenges. He painted a picture of a partnership based on mutual respect and cooperation. However, the reality was far from what he had promised.
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
The UK.
Okay, we don't give a about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay,
and no. You should care about your own borders.
Do you care about American lives?
No. Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
no,
about
by migrants? No. Do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
You know what? I don't care. I don't.
Members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your fake news. Do you have a relevant question? Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
I'm an American, and I'd like to hear your answer to what she's asked.
I'm not answering her question because I don't care about her network. If you would like to ask, I can answer.
Trump's meeting behavior was pure dominance, making it clear who was in control. Starmer, instead of asserting the UK's interests, was overshadowed and passive, unable to influence Trump in any real way. The stark contrast between Starmer's expectations and reality was hard to ignore. What made it worse was Starmer's past criticism of Trump, vocal on issues like immigration and trade. Yet here he was, attempting to cozy up to the same figure he once condemned. This flip-flop made him look disingenuous. When the tariff on UK cars came up, Trump shut Starmer down instantly, dismissing the inquiry and redirecting the conversation. It was a clear power move. Trump wasn't interested in any challenge to his decisions.
The UK has not escaped Donald Trump's trade tariffs. The president has confirmed the US will put 25% tariffs on imports of aluminium and steel from every country globally. And despite Keir Starmer's best efforts, that does include the UK. The EU has said it will hit back with counter tariffs on $26 billion of US goods. But the UK has chosen not to retaliate immediately. While Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds said the news is disappointing, he added that the UK is rapidly negotiating a trade deal with the US, which would eliminate tariffs. Prime Minister Starmer has previously been urged by the likes of Lib Dem leader Ed Davey to hit back if Trump's tariff threats became reality. But the PM is expected to resist pressure. Do you think the UK should retaliate?
This moment was a stark reminder of Starmer's lack of influence. Instead of standing his ground, he fell silent, showing just how little control he had. The British public couldn't miss the message. When it comes to dealing with Trump, Starmer isn't in charge. Trump calls the shots, and Starmer is left scrambling. This exchange exposed the UK's weakened position in these negotiations. Starmer wasn't always this eager to align with Trump. In opposition, he was vocal against Trump's controversial policies, particularly on immigration and trade, even calling for a tougher UK response. But now, his tone has dramatically shifted. He's eager to build a relationship with Trump despite the actions he once condemned. This about-face has raised serious questions about Starmer's credibility.
Prime Minister, and question to both of you, if you allow tariffs on European goods.
Am I going to impose tariffs on the European Union? Do you want the truthful answer, or should I give you a political answer? Absolutely. Absolutely. The European Union has treated us so terribly.
Look, it's early days, and what I want to see is strong trading relations. In the discussions that I've had with President Trump, that's what we've heard centered on those strong trading relationships. So it's very early days.
The public and media quickly called out the hypocrisy in Starmer's shift. His eagerness to cozy up to Trump after previously criticizing him makes it look like political convenience trumps his principles. This inconsistency damages his reputation and undermines his leadership. Trump's ability to dominate the narrative in interviews is a powerful tool, and he used it masterfully with Starmer. Instead of just answering questions, Trump controlled the entire conversation, shutting Starmer down before he could respond. He disarmed him completely, making Starmer look weak and ineffective. Trump's psychological tactics, interrupting, redirecting, and speaking with unwavering authority left no room for challenge, making Starmer seem small in comparison.
I wouldn't want Donald Trump round for dinner, but don't underestimate the danger to the world if Trump is re-elected this time around. I'm anti-Trump. I would like to send my warmest congratulations to President Trump on his inauguration as the 47th President of the United States.
In high-stakes political interviews, controlling the narrative is crucial, and Trump excels at it. His ability to dodge tough questions and put opponents on the defensive was on full display, making Starmer look powerless. This highlights Trump's mastery in manipulating public perception to his advantage. The 25% tariff on British car imports is a devastating blow to the UK economy, with serious consequences for businesses and workers. Iconic manufacturers like Jaguar, Land Rover, Mini, and Rolls-Royce, who export a large portion of their cars to the US, will feel the impact hardest. Facing higher costs, these companies could raise prices, reducing demand for British-made cars, and potentially causing job losses in the UK's manufacturing sector.
Dissuade President-elect Trump from imposing tariffs on the UK?
Well, I'm not going to speculate as to what he is going to do. It won't come as any surprise to you that I'm not a fan of tariffs, and therefore we have to make sure that we avoid tariffs. We've got very good trade with the US, as we've got very good trade with other countries around the world. I want to improve on that, and as you will know, I've had a meeting with President Trump in September in New York. I've had a number of phone calls since, and including one yesterday. I won't go into the details of what we discussed, but am I alive to the danger of tariffs, yes, of course, I'm against tariffs, but I'm not going to speculate as to what the incoming president might do.
You are committed to introducing or negotiating an SPS, a closer veterinary deal with the EU. That would probably rule out a grand bargain free trade deal with the United States, because we couldn't include something on agriculture in such a bargain. How are you going to put the two deals together, with Europe on the one hand and the United States on the other?
Well, I think that we can pursue both. I don't accept the argument that you've got to either be with the US or be with the EU. That isn't how it works at the moment with our current trade. We do want a closer relationship with the EU on security, on defence, on energy, and yes, on trade. And I've set out how we want to reset on a number of occasions. At the same time, I want to improve our trading relationships with the US. Is that going to be easy? Of course it's not. Do I think we can make progress? Yes, I do. That's among the reasons that I'm making sure we've got a good relationship with the incoming president, and that the relationship between our two countries remains as strong.
The tariff adds pressure on UK businesses that rely on smooth trade with the US, one of the UK's largest trading partners. Despite Starmer's claims of a strong relationship with Trump, he's failed to offer any real solution or leverage. Unable to prevent or soften the tariff's impact, many now question his ability to protect UK interests on the world stage. In the long run, this tariff could harm the UK's global competitiveness and damage Starmer's image as a leader. His failure to secure a better deal reflects poorly on his leadership, raising doubts about his ability to handle international negotiations. Starmer's passive leadership style is evident when dealing with global powers like Trump, hesitant and unable to assert the UK's interests. Public perception of his authority is mixed, and moments like these make it hard to see him as someone who can stand up to global bullies. His failure to challenge Trump's actions, like the car tariff, only fuels doubts about his strength as a leader.
And we look forward to welcome you in the United Kingdom. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much. What a beautiful accent. I would have been president 20 years ago if I had that accent. Thank you very much.
These moments are shaping Starmer's credibility, both in the UK and internationally. If he can't stand his ground on diplomatic matters, how can he be trusted to protect the UK on the global stage? This weakness could undermine his leadership long term. The so-called special relationship between the UK and US seems to be weakening under his leadership. With unpredictable figures like Trump, the UK's strategy appears more reactive than proactive. Starmer's narrative of a strong partnership clashes with the reality of actions like the car tariffs, proving the relationship is driven more by US interests than mutual cooperation. Starmer's poor handling of Trump and the economic fallout from the tariffs exposes serious leadership flaws. The special relationship seems one-sided, with Trump firmly in control. As these events unfold, the UK's global position is at risk. If you found this insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on global affairs and political dynamics.